run free in Moonlit. We've also, it's to the survivors positive for it to work out, and we also seen it work to their detriment. But you can't deny that D banning and benching the mechanic would definitely work in his favor and definitely give him more time in terms of downing survivors. D, again, known to have a plethora of hunters when it comes to big maps. He does have an Anne, he does have a Dream Witch if he wants to bring it out, as well as a Sculptor, as you saw there in his player profile. So I wonder who he'll be bringing out as the international lineup comes in, along with the Priestess, just to give a little more room for the survivors to move around, especially in the bridge part. Something also to note, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we were able to do our map bingo, and we were able to have all the maps represented here in Call of the Abyss. It took till day 3 because, as Grizzly mentioned before, Lakeside Village was finally chosen for the survivors to run around and try to run away from the hunter. And now, WEIBO's D, thinking really hard, going with the Sculptor, a very strong start for him because, again, he is known for his Sculptor. He's very calculated when it comes to the statues that he puts down, and it's going to be quite the early game for him and who he will be knocking down first.
Buying a lot of time for the survivors and really putting the hunter in a difficult spot. Will we see this again, or will WEIBO D just try to get a different survivor, for example, the
semifinals, as well as today? And now we see D spawning over at the bridge, looking at 2-story, didn't want to go for it, and going for, I believe, the tent area. Iron is over there, Iron being the forward. Not the best chase, but we are seeing that he is carrying teleport. So again, probably going to use that teleport when Quenching Effect hits, just to go for that really good survivor, and also de-accounting for detention at the late game.
Ford immediately using a lot of his football just to get that distance and telling the mercenary that the hunter is on its way, and we can see WEIBO D really trying to get that forward right here, because as soon as the forward football is gone, forward football will not be any danger to the Sculptor. And as I just said, forward football is almost gone, and that might be an opening for D to just hunt down the forward even more and get the first survivor on the chair. He might relocate on a different survivor. Sees the Seer now. We already mentioned the Seer, definitely a great find, and was dodging that statue. One. Oh, running. Oh, was
my
getting
gosh.
Into the hunter with the statue, was taking that damage, and in addition, bringing down AK extremely fast. Great play from D. Fantastic job. Let's see if we look at the Cypher machines. Really fast gameplay right here from D. Concentrating on the forward first, and then immediately switching over to the Seer and having the first survivor already on the chair, while all Cypher machines are still up and running.
And now switching attention back to that forward in 2-story, just that chisel, that effect where she's allowed to camp as well as harass for map pressure. And being a big map, the survivors really need to fully commit to make that transition to head over there. They do have that Priestess to give them some access to be able to cross that bridge, going back to ZQ's Iron, but still keeping the pace here against AK. But the Mercenary is in the area of last stop. He sees him in the vicinity, will try to, again, use these statues and use them to harass the hunter, the survivor, before he's able to make that rescue. And he's been so on point, especially in downing the Seer. Gets the hit. Oh, Tide Turner's in effect.
Wow, what a play from the Mercenary. Really dodging every single statue right here, coming in with the best that was possible, was able to do right here with a rescue and taking one hit. Fantastic job. You can see the Seer utilizing the Owl to just get a little bit of more distance, because we know as soon as the Seer hits the chair, he's out of the game. What he's trying to do right now is to give the survivor team more time to finish these last 3 ciphers, but might not be that easy as it is said. WEIBO D bringing down AK right here as soon as he lands on the chair. He doesn't have to worry about forward rescuing AK, because he already did all of his football. And there we have it, the first survivor eliminated. Great gameplay from WEIBO D. Survivors now have to concentrate on the ciphers, really have to bring these ciphers down. We can see they're almost down to 1 cipher.
And also, something to know, he has teleport, and just as I say it, teleports on over, but then the Priestess using the Holy Key, but then goes right back. Gonna eat that hit. Excellent utilization of the skills and traits there. WEIBO D able to stop the Cypher Rush right at the bridge area. MK now moving over to first stop, but then again, the Chisel is doing a lot of damage here. One more would do it, but then again, she uses the portal to just get away from the distance of that Chisel. D is still looking for the most optimal target because, as you mentioned, Grizzly, that there is one Cypher that's close to being popped and another one is almost halfway.
Fantastic job. We can see Long the Mercenary right here getting away from that Cypher machine that he was decoding on, which could have been very, very important. We can now see the Priestess getting healed too, and we will be going for the hunt of that Mercenary since one of the statues was hitting. Only one more hit with the attack will do it, and it was actually a statue.
Oh my gosh, just going the big brain plays. Didn't see, just predicted where the Mercenary would be going, hit him through that wall, and Long will be the second survivor to see that rocket chair. D's placement, he's like a Jedi right now, just able to predict which move is going to happen next, and just so on point. So far, so good for D, but he cannot rest just yet because a Cypher is about to pop.
There we go, we have the forward right here preparing that Cypher at 99. We can see the Priestess going back to the Cypher that the Mercenary was decoding. Great gameplay from D, just bringing that Mercenary closer to the Cypher machine so he can now harass that Cypher machine, he can now harass that Priestess and stop her from actually decoding that Cypher machine. Fantastic job. Also have to say that it was
to note that the forward is trying to go for the save now, but then he's making his way to the tent. We see that the Chisel is being placed, so Iron will have to time this rescue wisely. Long is about to go, but not quite. He eats the hit, an excellent rescue.
And gets another hit on the on Iron, which is the forward. Fantastic. So far we can see that D is really putting pressure on the Survivor team. They had the Mercenary on the chair, who is usually taking a longer time to get out of the game, but they did not rescue before halfway mark, which means that Iron will get out of the game if he's seeing the chair yet again, and they are healing up. But D
the aggression. My gosh, yeah, D not allowing a moment or a lull moment for these survivors to heal up, making sure that the resources dwindle away. Iron is able to heal, well, Iron was able to get healed, probably to try to body block for his fellow comrade. Excellent utilization of the elbow pads for that Iron dash, but you see that Priestess still trying to pop that Cypher, but the teleport will be used just to keep chasing this Priestess away from the last Cypher. MK is forced to run away once again, and we've seen these portals come out before. She has no more to go, so she will be having to run by foot to 2-story while we see the forward healing up the Mercenary.
So much pressure on these survivors. We can see Long is getting healed right here. Nice pallet stun off the Priestess. They now have to concentrate on that one last Cypher machine. We can see the forward in the bottom left really making his way to that Cypher machine, and they want to prime it. You can also see D again moving the survivor MK into the direction of that Cypher machine. So even when she is protecting, when the Sculptor is protecting that Cypher machine, that rocket chair, you can also protect the Cypher machine at the same time. But rescue is happening now, concentrating on the Cypher machine. That is almost. Will the forward be able to pop it? No, he won't. Fantastic protection from D, but Cypher machine is almost done, which could be in the survivor's favor, because if Iron is able to get him away, we can already see Mercenary making his way to the Cypher machine.
Holy smokes, the defense of D just prolonging this last Cypher pop. It is just one touch away. They were able to recuperate with their resources just a little bit, able to heal up that Priestess, getting one Holy Key back, but uses it right away, probably for an exit strategy. Iron and Long in the area. We're going to see that Chisel being used once again. Once we see a survivor, D will be on the case and try to go for it, but we're going to see the pop. Is it going to happen? Not quite. It is so close. One, just a taps, just a few more taps away, and they'll be able to push for that end game, Grizzly.
You can see, look at that, Forward and Priestess coming out of the direction from the dungeon, and everyone is now trying to get to that side.
Wow.
They're going in together. If one survivor takes a hit, they can still make it and touch the Cypher machine. Forward is trying to take the attention. Long is taking it with the statues. That's gonna be extremely interesting.
Whoa.
They're right here taking the hit, popping off that Cypher machine and splitting up, trying to get the Hunter's attention one by one. Really, what we can see right here is Long also opening up that exit gate over there. Is that the chance for them to make it through the exit gate on this side of the map? I don't think so. I don't think so, as long as he is right there on the gate.
Oh yeah, definitely. The defense of D is just like insurmountable. Teleports just to swat away and harass Long, but Long still having one more elbow pad. But the other gate, oh my gosh, the dungeon is also there. Priestess is still on her way. This is a huge map, so Long has to survive. Oh, but the portal, they have two. He's gonna try to knock them down, and he tries to get the after image. Gets the mercenary, but the delayed effect. Is he gonna go for the forward? He is, and the forward's still not able to. He's gonna have to crawl out 70 seconds before he can go for that teleport. He's gonna have to roll his way all the way to the other side of this map.
I'm just speechless. Fantastic gameplay from the survivor side, as you mentioned. Forward needs to crawl out, but there is literally no chance for D to actually get to that other gate after he utilized the teleportation to get to the mercenary who was dead. Said it. And I think that is exactly what FPX.ZQ was training for. They know Mechanic extremely dangerous decoder, and there we go. We can see it immediately. Mechanic got locked in as soon as Priestess was banned.
Whoa.
And we might even see a Prospector in this lineup. No, we won't.
No.
Playing with our feelings again.
We saw it yesterday, right? We saw that the Prospector can definitely harass, but Tang going with the known harasser of Call of the Abyss, going with that forward. Looking like a pretty solid lineup. Again, we just had to swap from the Mechanic to Priestess, so I would love to see the duality of this lineup. Especially just changing one variable can definitely change the pace of the game. I wonder if we're going to still play with the same Hunter, which is Sculptor.
And see, I think that, yeah, exactly. I'm curious to see the Hunter as well. And I think that FPX.ZQ was definitely preparing to play on Moonlit Park. And on both sides, right? They were preparing on both sides, the survivor side, where they have been utilizing the Priestess, and now they have been practicing long enough. They have definitely been practicing to play against a Mechanic team, and they have definitely been practicing to play against a Priestess team on Moonlit Park, and have decided for themselves that a Priestess in the end game, as we just saw it, is way more dangerous than the Mechanic can be when it comes to bring down Cypher machines. Question is, will this play out in favorites of FPX.ZQ by banning the Priestess and allowing the Mechanic into the game? Or will WEIBO be able to push down these Cyphers, bring in the decoding speed with the doll, and push to the late game extremely fast, outplaying FPX.ZQ's Hunter? We will see in this next match. We are coming now to the Hunter pick, and
Yeah, I love how you were able to break down the duality of it, right? With the Priestess, it's late game. It's a late game threat. With the Mechanic, it's early game threat, and we're seeing a Dream Witch. And we've talked about this. We've seen both sides of the coin when it comes to Dream Witch in this map. It's still very viable, but we've seen how it can turn south for the Hunter. Would definitely give the Hunter a little more leeway to push for that endgame. He just has to control the pace of the start.
Short amount of time that it might be a problem late game. Now we can see YMM going in for the survivor on the bridge, now searching for the survivor. Oh!
Yeah.
It is the Mechanic.
Yeah, he saw that it was the forward, and beautiful snipe out of the Mechanic here, carrying attention as well as... Oh my gosh! Just when I was explaining the personas, he got a Terror Shock! This is going really well for YMM!
Immediately starts by bringing down, as you said, the Mechanic. The doll was placed down, which is definitely a good thing, but is getting sniped out. We can see the doll might be in trouble. We can also see Ford is going in for the rescue, but we have the leech standing right there because the Mechanic has been leeched before. No, after
Yeah,
she was chaired.
after.
And here we can see Ford is coming in with the rescued, sorry, with the protection of the Seer, and another hit on the mechanic is happening.
So this would definitely hamper the Cypher rush, because currently we're seeing 2 Cyphers being popped, but the mechanic stall is out and about. So he will have to be going down in a bit. But we are seeing Tang get a patroller on his leg. And will we be seeing a hit on the forward, but Tang getting the stun? But the patroller, again, being so good at just interrupting the actions of the survivors. Now the mechanic going for another round in the rocket chair. Great start for YMM, but you have to admit WEIBO is getting a lot, is getting some objectives being done.
Doll is down. We now have no decoding power from the mechanic on the field, which is extremely good for FPX.ZQ. We can see 2 Cypher machines, or 1 Cypher machine has been popped, another one is almost done, and the third one is also almost done. But this is putting a lot of pressure on WEIBO. What are they doing now? Are they going to rescue? Yes, they are, and they are trying to come in with the mercenary. Coming with a very fast rescue. Tide turner kicks in, mechanic goes down. Now, now we don't have the priestess that we have mentioned because she was banned. Priestess could be able to, you know, utilize the golden rescue the mechanic, but that is out of the way. Therefore, mechanic will go down, will be the first survivor that gets sent back to the manor, and they are still having a little bit of a deficit when it comes to Cypher progress, because we can still see 4 Cypher machines up, and even if all Cypher machines are getting popped that are worked on right now, they still need a 5th Cypher machine. Very good pressure from YMM when it comes.
But you have to notice that Tang was able to de-leech Blue, so that even though that the mechanic was sent back to the manor, they were able to get a little bit of the pressure off, because there is just one main body follower that is around this map. Tang trying to hide around in first stop, but YMM gonna be able to leech him, and he's still trying to hide, but finds out that the leech is right there, switches to the main body to find more survivors. Tang only having the pallets to work with, because he had to use his football just to gain a little bit of distance and try to go for those stuns away. Uses a little bit more, and we see that Tang gets hit once again. Oh my lord.
Fantastic blink to close the gap before the pellet has been dropped. And we saw that YMM was actually changing to the main body, going to the second stop, because he was expecting the Ford to get into the roller coaster, but we also saw the switch to the leech right away, and saw the Ford getting away, utilizing that leech on the Ford to blink, hit down, and we now have the Ford on the chair. You can see the survivor team is working on their 5th Cypher machine right now, but that is forcing Blue right here to stop decoding and go in for the rescue of his teammate. He will probably throw that down to just get the distance, and takes the hit right here. Now allows the Ford to get away. Another blink hit on the Ford while he tried to dash away.
Yes, that negated the football, and my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, but the football still has a lot of utilization, but just YMM just negating the distance to be made by that football. Seeing the second round on this rocket chair. Now Blue being chased away. We are seeing the Seer try to pop that Cypher. 3 Cyphers actually are so close to being popped, but they're trying. They have to decide either to save Tang or salvage the situation, because Blue does not have that much resources left.
And I assume they will leave Tang on the rocket chair, because it's way too far that actually one of these 2 survivors could go in for the rescue. So now just focusing on decoding right here, which might be still extremely difficult to pull off, considering that we have 1 survivor getting chased right now, who is Blue, and we have the other survivor trying to prime these Cypher machines. 1 Cypher machine is already prepared. They are popping off this Cypher machine on the bridge, now transitioning back to the Cypher machine that is closer to the exit gate, trying to pop off that exit gate Cypher machine and go to
Oh, a
transitioning.
blink. Oh my gosh. Blink on the side of blue, and the delayed effect would happen. And notice, Grizzly, that all these ciphers were popped by the Seer. So the Seer, again, making his way to this map. He's the main decoder, does not have an owl. The Mercenary is going down, and the leech follower, and goes for the pop right away just to bring up his fellow comrade. But detention will be a factor in this this kite for the Seer.
Wow, see that? Just getting caught in between these two leeches right here, taking one of the hits now. YMM is trying to find the last survivor, and this might be a back and forth again, where we can see that FPX.ZQ is trying to get all survivors out of the game. We can see Blue is making his way to the exit gate, but the spawn leech might actually come in and prevent this from, the spawn leech might prevent this from happening. We can see Blue is trying to get away from the leeches, trying to buy the time for him to potentially get through the dungeon, which is on the other side of where he's going right now. But he also knows that the Dream Witch is most likely trying to protect the dungeon. So
yes, trying to cut him off, like chase him away from the dungeon area, right? But he did share the Seer, so that is a bold statement. He wants to knock down Blue already. Goes for the blink hit, but not quite there. So excellent juke there by Blue. Still buying enough time. Already past the halfway mark. Blue really has to find his way to try to crawl towards that dungeon, but YMM gonna leech him right away. So the difficulty just times 2 here, because 2 leeches will be following him. One main body leech, as well as the leech of this Mercenary. Blue again trying to find the best area to kite in. We see that YMM trying to pincer him, trying to get that sandwich going, but it's only a matter of time. Blue again going to this corner, and he is gonna get sniped out. 5 points.